Welcome to the Principles of Success. My name is Nathan, and this is Season 1, Episode 11. And I thought I'd start off with this week talking about learning from others. And what's funny is you can learn from me from my failure last week, where I realized I messed up with Episode 9, and the week before I was talking about learning from failure. So, learn from others' failures. Let them go through all the crap and realizing that doesn't work. There's no reason why you have to go through that. Let other people screw up and then listen to their counsel. That's why parents tell you not to do certain things, because they were dumb and they did that. I found out I was a great child compared to my parents. So learn from others' failures, learn from others' experience. It's pretty much the same thing. And then learn from others' teaching. So like listening to this podcast, reading books, watching YouTube videos, listening to other podcasts, attending seminars, buying courses, going to school. All of those are learning from others. And the reason why it's so important to learn from others is because all that information has been distilled into a much more concentrated form. You don't have to go and find a bunch of random information to try and figure it all out yourself. You can ask somebody and they'll tell you. That's why mentors are important. And that's the next point I want to talk about is mentors. Mentoring is very important when it comes to success. Almost every successful person you know has had mentors in their life. Especially in the modern age, mentors are fantastic. Digital mentors. Again, listening to podcasts and books. But you can reach out to somebody across the world and they can be your mentor. But it's important to remember that most people are extremely self-serving. So if you want somebody to be your mentor, make sure that it's of benefit to them and not you just asking them to use their valuable time to help you. Some might, but your odds of success drastically go up when there's an exchange of value. It doesn't have to be an equal exchange of value. It doesn't even have to be the same type of value. A great example of this is befriending somebody who's successful. If you make them laugh and give them a good time, they're going to want to help you in other matters. So if you're successful in one category, they're successful in another, that's a mutually beneficial relationship. And that's really how you get mentors. Now, I'm talking all theoretically right now because I've never actually had a mentor. My only mentor has been books and YouTube. Those have been my mentors and gotten me pretty far, but I do know that if I could find decent mentors, it would expedite my growth. And make sure to ask questions. Not even just from mentors, just ask questions in general. There's a quote I like that a man who asks is only foolish once, while the one who doesn't ask will remain foolish. And basically what that means is if you don't know how to do something, ask. Instead of being embarrassed that you don't know how to do it. Because once you ask, you find out and then you can move forward. But if you're embarrassed and don't ask, you never learn. And so you will always be embarrassed whenever that comes up. And I do it too. Everyone does it. We all try and save face. But it's important to ask. And it's important to ask questions. Just be curious. Curiosity killed the cat. Human beings are extremely curious people. And that's the nice thing about living in an over-information age. Anything you want to know is in your pocket. You can learn any skill you want from YouTube itself. And then there's more resources outside of YouTube. That's one of the reasons why I actually don't think school is all that important nowadays, because you can get exceptional courses on anything that school teaches for free online with just a quick Google search. Now, sometimes you have to weed through some duds, but if you just want the information and you don't care about the piece of paper that school provides, or your job does not require that piece of paper, and then I say skip school and just learn online. But that doesn't always translate perfectly well, because there's hands-on stuff, like being a nurse is mostly a skill-based profession instead of a theory profession. So just be curious. Keep whatever your fancy is. Be ADD with education. And that will actually, I'll go more in depth with my strategies of learning in a different episode. But be curious. Ask lots of questions. If you don't know the answer to something, find out. That's the point of learning. And that's why we're here, is to learn and to grow. So keep learning, keep moving forward. And then once you absorb that information, back to the bonus episode, make sure it's correct. Analyze it. Break it down. Reverse engineer it. Look at it from a different angle. Look at the flip side of it. This isn't a direct quote, so I don't even remember who said it anyway. But basically, if you can't make the other side's argument as well as you can make your own, then you're not entitled to an opinion. Now, I don't fully agree with that one, but it's a good kind of mindset to have. If you haven't broken down something to the point that you can understand somebody who has an opposite viewpoint and argue their points better than they can argue their points, then you haven't, in my opinion, learned as much as you need to really be confident in your answers. I got in a debate with a girl. It was a date, and the date we knew almost instantly was not going to work out, but we talked for like 6 hours on that date because we were debating, because we had very opposite viewpoints. And I got one of my most favorite compliments ever from that girl, and it was, "You're kind of like a casual know-it-all. You're not cocky about it, but you obviously know your stuff, and in a wide range of stuff." And that's because of hyperlearning, which I will talk about in a later episode as well. But you gotta be curious and keep expanding your horizons and look into whatever you want. I've spent an enormous amount of time learning and satisfying my curiosity. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it there for today. So I will see you all next time.